What's going on, guys? It's Anthony with Jhuly Aquatics and Gardening, and welcome back to another video. Now today I just wanted to kind of run around the yard really quick and show you a couple of fall container plantings that I did not film, and also give you some updates on some other projects that some of you my subscribers have been asking me about. So first and foremost, I have this container here which I have not staged yet. I didn't write down the names of these guys, but hopefully I'll be able to remember them and pop them in. But I've got a couple of kale here, and this is my most favorite one. It's beautiful. I've got I can't remember the names of these plants. Oh, it's so terrible. This is an autumn fire sedum. It's supposed to have red blooms, but it looks more like a sedum autumn joy. And I've got another mum back here that's supposed to bloom red. And then I went to Lowe's, and I did tell you guys that a couple of my containers, although I had planned to do galvanized, are more wood toned. Now this is actually a faux wood container, and I believe sorry, school bus is passing, but this is actually a faux wood container. And I love the way it came out. And I'm just showing you guys these containers as a couple of options. These were literally just leftover plants because I bought too many. And I just popped them together. And actually under here, there's a little heucherella. So that's another option for a fall container planting idea that you can do. This is another one. As you can see, I did stage a couple of pumpkins at the base of this one. It's again one of those same faux wood containers. I've got a fire bush here, which is nice. I popped in a couple of 4-inch kales, which have grown substantially, kales and cabbages. I've got a little Muehlenbeckia vine coming out the bottom here that's not doing super hot. Again, just repeated the same color kales. And again, this was supposed to be a sedum autumn fire, I think, but it looks more like a sedum autumn joy to me. And one thing that I like about this container, I have it on the edge of this flower bed. I've got a Mrs. Huff lantana to the left. This container I did in a video this past summer that I'll link up above. But one thing I like about it, the way that I position this container, it makes it look like that, I just forgot the name of it. Jeez, I'll pop it up on the screen. I'm not remembering plant names, but it's making it look like that's all one container. And you also can see that marigold in the back. It makes it look like from this vantage point it's all one container, when in truth and in fact it's a completely separate container. So that's an idea that you can take. I like to stage my containers in the landscape and put them at the base of other containers to kind of give them the look that it's all one. Let me pop to the other side of this flower bed and show you my third container. So some of you guys who have been following me since earlier this summer might recognize this basket. It's actually weatherproof, and there's a container that I popped down inside of this basket that I had started seeds in for a fall arrangement. Now the reason why this container was not successful is because I did not water it, but the zinnias came up. They were nice. I had a couple of marigolds. This marigold was actually in that original container mix that I did, and it came up and it survived. And I also popped in a plum dandy nanthera, and I had stuck little coleus cuttings in there. The coleus did well, the plum dandy nanthera did well, and I was about to say the marigold survived, but everything else died out. And you can actually see the container down in there. So it's another container that I popped inside of this basket. And that's an idea that you can take away, guys. If you have a basket or a container that you like and it's not plantable, just pop another container down inside of it and you'll still get the look that you're going for. So in this container, in the back, I have those coleus cuttings. I've got that plum dandy alternanthera. I've got this beautiful marigold and another kale. And it's just on the opposite side of that container that I just showed you. That's container number 3. Let's move on to container number 4. This container is probably by far my most favorite of all the containers that I did this fall. I've got more pumpkins staged at the base. I also staged a rosemary topiary that I'm working on. But look, I've got to pop on the other side and show you it also. But again, I picked up another huge kale from my garden center. I've got a, what I'm calling a, what did I say it was? Sedum Autumn Joy. I've got a, forgive my son yelling in the background. I've got a barberry, Orange Rocket barberry from the Southern Living Plant Collection. I've got some Rudbeckia. I've got a mum. I've got a beautiful orange celosia that I really don't use in my landscape. And this is the street side of the container. So again, this is one of those faux wood containers that I'm using to kind of accent the galvanized look I was going for. And I love it. And it looks beautiful, beautiful from the street. So let me show you the other side of this container. And this is what it looks like when I come out of my front door. And this is my most favorite kale that I've got going on this spring. And I've got another mum out of this backside. And I think it looks beautiful. So those were a couple of planting ideas for some spring, or not spring, some fall inspiration. And I think they are beautiful. Well, I said I was going to give you some project updates from this past year, but I think I'll just leave this video as fall container inspirations. And I will do another video on project updates for this season. So that was 4 different container arrangements that I did for this year. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And I actually have one more that I'm going to show you, and then that'll wrap it up. So some of you will probably remember this gorgeous, I don't know how well you can see it, container, concrete container. Sorry, kids are just getting off of school, buses are passing, trash trucks are passing, forgive me, I live on the main road, blah, 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 blah. But you will probably remember this container that my wife got me for my 30th birthday last year. Last year I did plant this grass in the middle of it, and I'm sorry you can't see detail with all the other plants going on in the background. I planted this grass in there last year, and it is hardy in my area. I forget what kind of grass it is, but if I can find the name, I'll pop it up on the screen. And it's beautiful as a centerpiece. I thought it was dead. I cut it back last year, as you can see from the base. I thought it was dead, and it sprung back to life and turned its beautiful fall color. This black Tuscan kale, I popped some seeds in there late last winter, and it sprouted, and look, it's gorgeous. And I'm gonna leave it over the winter again. Hopefully it'll go to seed and drop more seeds in this container and just go to town. I did throw a couple of other seeds in there, and they came up and since again went to seed and faded out. There's some marigolds. That one is still working its way up. I doubt it's gonna bloom. Earlier this spring I threw in some of this creeping phlox, and there are hyacinth bulbs planted in there. And you know, I was gonna go for, you know, a more formal look in here, but you know, so many things went to seed and came up. There are also some pansies that went to seed in here and did well, and some more of them are popping up. And I'm just gonna let this container, you know, come to a life of its own. Whatever wants to go to seed and come up in here, I'm just gonna let it. And that is one thing I would suggest that you guys do. If you have some containers that you always struggle with what to plant, just throw some random seeds in there that you like. Put a grass in as a centerpiece, or put a small growing shrub in as a centerpiece. Throw a creeping phlox or a creeping veronica in there, or throw some muhlenbeckia if it'll survive in your zone in there, and just let things go to seed. And throw some seeds in there that you like and let them go to seed every year. And that way you don't have to worry about planting it up. It's free after, your initial investment of a couple dollars of some seed packets. And there you go. So I'm rambling at this point in time, and I don't want this video to get much longer. But hopefully you drew some inspiration from some of the containers that I showed you. And I hope you will go out there in your landscape this fall, if it's not too late where you are, and plant up some of your containers. Again, thanks for watching. I think I already did the outro, but here it is again if I didn't do it before. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing. And remember, in all things, give thanks, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.